I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is the year for collaboration knives. Now, what I mean by that is a custom maker is collaborating with a production knife company, as it were. So whether that be Reate, Alliance Designs, Best Tech, you name it, they're coming out with more production pieces that look and feel just like the customs. It's very cool, really exciting. So, what one are we talking about today? Well, my name is Brad, and welcome back to Screaminpirate EDC. Today we are talking about the Chevron. Now, the Chevron is a collaboration between Matthew Christensen Knife Works, and it is technically, if you see here on the front with the Yan with the dragon, it is Yan Knives and Gear. Now, Yan Knives and Gear is basically using Reate. It's basically Reate. They're at the same booth at Blade Show. So you have a Reate collaboration with Christensen. Now, these have already dropped. They are, by the time this goes up, I think they've been out about a week. I know there are a few configurations left as of the time recording this, and they are all over the place. If you just go to either Crane's Cutlery or Yan Knives and Gear on Instagram, I'll have the pop-ups for you. They have a list of all the places, I believe, like Blade HQ and a few others. Really, really interesting design. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys, we are top down with the Chevron. So, as usual, stats on the screen. Now, once again, this is a Matthew Christensen design. Now, very interesting. I saw this. If you saw it over on Instagram, gosh, I don't know. It's been at least 6 months. I know it was before December-ish of last year, and these were at Blade Show. They were at the Reate booth. So, got to handle one in person. Did a short on it in case you saw it. It was a full dress version. Obviously, this is the micarta. Really, really nice. So far, it is broken in beautifully for me, and it's just a nice, flowing design. Overall, very, very nice and sleek looking. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons before I get into my thoughts on the piece. Now, before I get into anything else, guys, this was given to me by Reate/Yan Knives for the review. They didn't say I had to review it positive or negative. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. So, size comparison. Since this just released, it's been out, by the time you see this, a week. So, not a lot of people have their hands on it. So, let's start with some well-known pieces. Up first is going to be your Benchmade 940. So 940 is a little bit bigger, not much, but a little bit there. And then let's grab a Para 3. So there is your Para 3. Actually very similar overall to a Para 3. So if you wanted a hollow grind Para 3, it's really close. Well, let's go ahead and tuck those two out of the way and grab two more. So I also wanted to grab some that are, I guess, I call them designer knives. I call them, custom productions. First up is going to be the Null Knives Grace. That was a collaboration with Brandon Corbin. And then the one down here is going to be the Elder by Brian Efros. Now, it doesn't seem like it. I know 2024 has gone by really fast. The Elder came out this year. These are very similar overall. And I gotta admit, the Chevron's really close and it's really, really good. After that, I'm going to tuck those away and I'm going to have a few more that I just wanted to give you guys because I saw they were very similar in size and I know they are very popular. This is going to be the McNeese Mac 2 3.5, very similar to the Mac 2 3.5, and the ever popular Brian Brown Jaeger. Now, this is the Jaeger V3. I believe it's a little bit bigger than a Jaeger V3, but just to give you an idea of size. Now, the big one on the table, at least for me, and I've gotten 1,000 questions, it feels like, on which one of these to buy. I already did a review on this one. This is going to be the Alliance Designs Keen. So let me move those both down so you can see them side by side. Very similar. Now, the Keen is bigger overall. It is going to be, if I can get those right out there, a little bit longer in the blade. If I set them on top of each other, little bit longer in your blade. If I can get those bolster to bolster. Well, actually very, very similar overall, but it would be a little bit longer in the handle if you do that bolster to bolster. So a little bit bigger in the blade on your Keen. Also, it does not matter your configuration. The Keen is heavier and is a hair thicker, I do believe. Yeah, just a little bit thicker. Now, once again, very, very similar. I will circle back to that, you guys, on which one I think is my pick between the two. But for now, I'm going to tuck the Keen away, and let's talk about my thoughts on the Chevron. So, I really do like how it feels in hand. Nice and ergonomic. Really nice hollow grind. You know, very, very thin. Very easy with this jimping that's extended that you can kind of get the base of your thumb here. If you really need to be doing some push cuts, really nice. I do like that. I have had no problems cutting with this one. So as you can see, standard cardboard that you would get in like an Amazon box. Oh, cutting through tape, a little bit stiff there, but no problem. As long as you're willing to put in the extra effort, good, slices well. I've had no problems whatsoever. Also, very good clip. I do like the clip in and out of pocket. No problems there. Now, it is and has been a bit stiff as far as the opening and closing, but nice and snappy. But what I mean by stiff is once you release the lock bar, you got to give it a little more of a wiggle. I have not quite gotten mine to be, quote, drop shutty. Not that it matters or not that I care. I love the reverse flick on this. Really, really nice. And the front flip is really nice. I'm okay at doing the thumb flick here just because you got to kind of push your thumb down in there, but you can get it. And for all my lefties out there, no problem with the thumb flick. As long as I get my thumb off of the lock bar because it's such a thin lock bar. There's your reverse flick. And then there is your front flip. Really nice. I can open it and, you know, as ambidextrous as I can. The clip is not reversible. Now, something I really like about this design is, as you can see, the titanium is under here, under the micarta I have here. Well, if you haven't looked at them in depth, there's a ton of options. You can get like Timascus under here. You can get all sorts of crazy, just basically, I guess call them backlays, inlays. Yeah, just sitting behind the scale. It's a very cool idea and a very cool design. I like that the venting is on both sides. So overall, yes, I'm talking a lot about it. Oh, and no lanyard hole, and I don't think it needs one. Obviously, I wear a large glove. It is a bit stiff. That is my only thing, is that even after having this for around almost 2 months now, guys, it is a bit stiff, but it is smooth. So the only thing I've really done is I did replace the bearings, and then I'll take like a little like cotton swab with some actual like pivot lube or whatever you want and put it right on the detent ball and just a little dab, and then just kind of work the knife. So I like that it is lightweight, that it is thin, that it is slicey. Everybody I hand this to says it is fantastic and they really like it. But how do I like it compared to the Keen? For me personally, if I was buying just one, I would buy the Keen. The reason is I feel like it has just broken in a little bit better, at least for me and my time with it. It is just a hair smoother. And overall, I kind of like the lines on the Keen a little bit more. It's all preference, and I know that. So, I like the Keen. But that is to say, if you have $300, this is the knife to buy. Seriously, this is the knife. There are a lot of other things, and unless you want a smaller knife, such as the Keenison Basset Hound, this is excellent. This is going to do everything you want in an EDC knife. I can't imagine what else you would be doing with an EDC knife that this couldn't do. If you are batoning your knife, if you are using it, for extra hard work, then the knife's not for you. And that's okay. Not every knife is for every task. But I think for most people, this is an absolutely excellent pick. Definitely pick one up if you have the money. And if you don't, there might be some on the secondary if someone doesn't like theirs. Either way, 100% recommend the Chevron.